Hello, welcome to the Fresh on Flash channel. In the previous video, we looked at a situation where the main characters were able to avoid danger in advance thanks to their thoughtful and organized actions. But things don't always go so perfectly, do they? What will change if the danger catches our heroes unawares? This time, let's find out next.
Hi Mike, what's up?
Good morning, Roy. We have an appointment today, remember?
I'll be there in 2 hours, as we agreed. See you soon.
Great.
Roy has to meet with Mike, because Mike wants to offer Roy a position as a deputy at his agency. The guys knew each other since college, and have been friends ever since. Today's meeting would benefit both of them, as Roy had always been interested in various sports and was in good physical shape, but most importantly, he was honest and reliable. Mike had the same qualities, so Roy didn't hesitate to agree, especially since the income he would receive was also satisfactory. Roy is getting ready to hit the road. To arrive on time, takes the car keys, and goes to the garage. After Mike's call, the phone rang again, and it was his sister Jane.
Hey, don't forget we're going out of town this weekend to celebrate Frank's birthday.
How can I forget when you remind me of it every day?
Well, that's true. Okay, good luck with your new job.
Thanks, but I haven't been accepted yet.
But we both know it's only a matter of time. Just don't be stupid and everything will be fine.
Yeah, that's the tip of the day. Okay, bye. I gotta go.
Ciao.
When he arrived at the meeting place, he leaves the car in the parking lot and goes to the meeting in the building of the research center where Mike works.
I'm glad to see you here. Welcome to our apartment.
Thanks man, me too.
Let me give you a tour and show you what's in store.
Let's go.
Mike showed him around the labs and equipment of the science center and explained the purpose of the various rooms, departments, and safety rules. After a long tour and informative conversations, Mike eventually decides that he has enough information to get started. Before the guys could walk a few meters from the main entrance, they were almost deafened by an explosion that came from the closed building of the research center. Mike immediately began to review the data from the automatic protection system that was designed for such cases. The program found that there were only 4 people in the closed building and all of them were alive. They were able to get to the evacuation elevator. To make matters worse, after the explosion, green smoke began to spread. Mike realized that this color was not just a coincidence, and since research with various potentially hazardous substances was often conducted in the closed building, it was necessary to evaluate the staff and visitors immediately.
Attention, everyone leave the area right now. Code red.
There was no need to repeat it because everyone was in a hurry to get as far away from that place.
Roy, the situation is worse than it looks. You need to get out of here too.
No dude, we're working together now. Tell me how to help and let's go.
Okay buddy, then follow me.
They went down to the lower level of the underground complex, which could only be accessed by having a special key card and entering the correct combination of numbers. The underground complex had access to all the above-ground buildings, and possibly more. The guys went into one room where there was a lot of different protective equipment, including suits. With a closed breathing system, Roy was a bit overwhelmed by what he saw, and wanted to ask questions about everything, but he saw how fast and focused Mike was, so he decided to postpone his questions for later.
I'll tell you all about it, but later.
I'm not asking anything yet, but when we get into the alien ship, I won't be silent anymore.
After going through the full disinfection process, they put on their equipment and hurried to help deliver the scientists who arrived in the evacuation elevator to a special isolation unit. They did it quickly, as 2 of the scientists were unharmed and only the others were injured. The doctors on duty were already examining them and providing assistance. the head of the department where the explosion occurred, was holding a conference in another city, so he received a call and was informed of the situation.
Mike, you did the right thing by evacuating everyone, but don't let firefighters get to the site, because the reagents and elements that were stored there after the explosion could create something dangerous that could cause catastrophic harm to everyone who gets there.
However, all those present realized that it was too late, because while the evacuation was taking place, the firefighters, who arrived at the scene, were already working. They extinguished the flames where they could not extinguish them automatically because several smart modules were disabled by the explosion.
Attention all firefighters. Leave the building quickly, and don't take off your protective respirators or equipment. Chemical poisoning hazard.
Roger that. We're almost done here. We're leaving.
Roy and one of the guards took the elevator to the surface. There were several firefighters waiting for them, but that wasn't all of them. 2 people from their group were still missing and hadn't been in touch. Several more attempts to contact them failed.
Mike, 2 people from the group are not in touch. How reliable is my protective suit?
It's the best in its segment, and I understand why you're asking, but be careful out there. Remember, we don't know exactly what we're dealing with.
Don't worry. I've done it 100 times.
Roy, I'm serious. Don't take too many risks, and stay in touch. And if you disappear there, I'll dismiss you from this wonderful job that you dreamed of every day.
Okay, we'll joke later when you buy me a drink, but now I think I see him.
Roy saw one of the people he was looking for in the corridor.
Hey man, let's get out of here.
But then he saw that something was wrong with him, because he could barely stand up and was acting strangely.
Hang on, I'll get you out. Mike, I found him, but he's really sick. He seems disoriented. Maybe he's hallucinating, but I'm not an expert. He needs to go to the hospital right away.
Okay, hurry up.
Roy thought he was just sick and rushed over to help him get out of the building. At the exit, paramedics were waiting for them. After sending the man with them, Roy went back to the part of the building where he had found one of the group to check it again.
Roy, we saw on the cameras how the other guy fell out of the 3rd floor window and then got up and just walked away.
What's going on, dude? Should I go back?
Of course, come back. The police have already found him. My guys will meet them and our doctors will examine him.
Got it.
Roy noticed that he hadn't seen any firefighters or their truck.
Why hasn't this smoke cleared yet? It seems to be getting more and more.
Roy, I wish I knew. I was informed that the ambulance that received the call from us stopped a couple of streets away and had some problems there.
Where are the other people?
The doctors examined them and found no infection, so they let them go. Maybe it's better that way. They don't have to see and hear it. You know that our resident firefighter attacked. The cops threw himself at everyone. Look what happened to that cop. We need to find out what happened to the one who was taken away by the ambulance. If the police have problems, then the medics and everyone else may also be in danger.
They heard noise and screaming from the medical department. When they ran there, they saw the wounded scientists attacking the doctors who were conducting the examination and biting them. Mike and Roy quickly dragged the aggressive infected away and wrestled them face first to the floor. The cops, who also rushed to help, handcuffed the infected. But it didn't end there. The infected man was followed by his colleagues and medics, who looked just as aggressive. They immediately began to attack everyone nearby. Chaos broke out. The cops started shooting, but it didn't help.
Run for the exit. I'll hold them off. Now.
People quickly ran out of there, and Roy helped Mike barricade the exit and lock the door. All the survivors were scared,
What was that?
but they tried to control themselves and think about how to get out of there. After looking at each other, they made sure that everyone was okay and had no scratches or bites. They contacted the command of the Special Forces and explained what had happened and sent them the video material.
Good. You're right on time. We have sent you instructions. Good luck.
Now that the relevant services understand the situation and can take the necessary measures, the evacuation can begin. Knowing that there were already infected people walking around, the city, Roy and Mike and everyone else with them needed to get to their cars safely and drive in the direction they had chosen after discussing the plan. Mike issued protective suits to the survivors and refilled their oxygen tanks.
Let's get out of here.
Quickly and cautiously, they went outside and headed for the car.
Let's get in my car.
In a few minutes, they were approaching the place they needed.
They're here.
At the police checkpoint, they were inspected and their cars
Clean.
were checked. After making sure that everything was in order, they were given permission to leave and warned to get in touch if necessary. Then Roy and Mike agreed to go to another city, namely where their friend Frank had told them to go, just away from all these events. Before that, they had to gather some equipment and supplies, just in case.
I sent.
Jane sent them the coordinates of where they needed to go. Having gathered everything they needed, they set off. Strong, determined. Though a little tired from everything that had happened, they were fully prepared for the threat that had appeared so unexpectedly. The guys did everything they could to help everyone who needed. Now they have to protect their families and friends. And with such defenders, they will definitely be safe. Thank you for watching, guys. Take care of yourself and your loved ones. Do good things. And I wish you to be healthy and happy millionaires.